Hey guys, welcome back to the All of a Sudden podcast, episode 49. We are one episode off from the big 5-0. Yeah.
Hey, Julian, what was that?
Quick maths, Julian.
It wasn't math. It was more like articulation. My brain and my head didn't want to I knew okay, just put one finger down, but for some reason my brain couldn't articulate oh, hey, which finger to put down. I don't know.
So this week we're, Julian, do you remember our guest's name this week?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do. Thankfully, we have Dalila, our usual suspect over here. And then we got Bromatsky downtown. Well, at least for me. Matt, I think you've been on the podcast, twice or once already?
Twice that I can remember.
He's usually the jinx of the podcast world, or our podcast in general.
Oh, that's right. No, yeah. So actually, you've been on maybe about 4 or 5 times, but on air probably about twice before.
Yeah, whatever reason,
Julian always happens to lose it.
Yeah.
Julian always happens to lose the recordings.
Damn, Julian, some shade thrown.
I know. And I take full responsibility.
Yeah, because you lost some pretty good ones.
I know that probably the Valentine's Day one, right? That was the first one. That one was a good one. And it sucks because
that was my first one.
Yeah, it sucks because that was actually some pretty cool talking points that we had. And I ended up losing yours and 2 other people, and then it ended up making the episode a lot shorter, and it sucked. I was like, dang it. But oh well.
See, but at the same time, I don't feel bad about you losing that one because I'm not with my ex anymore. So
I guess that's true. Yeah,
it's no longer held in infamy.
He's like, you know what? I forgive it because now I don't have to go back and listen to myself talk about it or whatever.
I don't have to cry anymore.
Been there.
So we're on remote episode number 4, 3, 4.
I think this is 4.
Yeah, this is episode number 4.
Yeah.
Coffee. I forgot the other one, and then high school,
and then now.
Yeah, and then us now. It's probably about week.
Probably
of week 5 or 6 of quarantine.
Yeah,
as far as El Paso,
I believe so.
Week.
I think
4.
No, I thought we were week 5.
Yeah, I think we're
because we started in late March.
Week 5.
We did start in March, so we had all of April. No, not all of April. Well, pretty much all of April now.
All of April.
Well, yeah, because it's gonna end in this week. No, at the end of April.
Yeah, on Friday, which I think is ridiculous. That is probably the dumbest thing our state can do. Honestly, it really is.
So for people who don't live in Texas, our genius of a senator or governor decided that Texas is going to reopen officially on May 1st. Which he's not opening everything, but he's decided to open up restaurants, theaters, museums, and
well, see, the thing is with restaurants, the malls, and other places, general places, that's opening this Friday. This Friday, they're opening up. The thing is that it's supposed to be
a capacity.
There's supposed to be a capacity thing. They're gonna be, I think it's not even 50% capacity that they're gonna let people in. It's gonna be 20-something% capacity.
25.
And then I know that overall in general that they have to monitor everything, and people do have to still wear the mask because the masks are officially mandatory when you step out in public.
Yeah, I believe the last time that we talked, I had just said that it was only in Socorro. But now it's all of El Paso.
Yeah, there's a no tolerance whatsoever when it comes to not wearing a mask. I went to local gas earlier today.
But you want to know what you want to know though? Okay, obviously masks are supposed to be monitored, and I know that a lot of places are being oh, if you don't have a mask, you can't come in. But I had to go to Walmart today to pick up a few things for the house. And everyone is wearing a mask, but there's a mom there with the mom and maybe her 2 kids, one maybe 6 years old, the other one maybe 4. None of them were wearing a mask, and they were inside Walmart. So I'm just like, are you monitoring this or not? You know what I mean? Because she was like in the whole like fruits and veggies section, but everyone else is wearing a mask and she's not. So like, I'm wondering if she wore a mask to come in and then took it off,
Yeah.
or if they let her in without wearing a mask. You know what I
Well,
mean?
I'm pretty sure it's the latter than the former, or whichever one that you said first about where she came in. Because a lot of people have definitely been cracking down on that. I know in my areas with my stores, they have all the signs, and it's a constant thing that keeps happening. I'll be working, and then I hear the cashier or the manager, whoever's working behind the counter, be like, "Hey, you got to wear a mask." And the people's like, "Oh, I don't have one." They start doing this shit, and he's like, "No, it has to be a
Jeez.
mask." And they're like, "I'll do this, I'll do that." I'm like, "No, that's
We'll see.
not a
Like my
mask."
cousin, okay, like my cousin, she works at Target, the one over here at Bassett, right?
Tarjay.
And they literally have signs on like right before you enter, and they even have people like stationed right there saying you can't come in unless you have a mask. And my cousin has even told us like stories, because we take her to work and back home because she doesn't drive, right? Where people have gotten upset at them for not wearing a mask, that they've had to call like the store manager to say, hey, you can't come in unless you have a mask.
Yeah.
So if they're doing that at Target, why aren't they doing that at Walmart? You know what I mean?
It's all just dependent on the
Just the
who's
corporation.
Conspiracy,
enforcing
man.
it. Yeah. It all
Yeah.
depends on who's enforcing it, because it really just depends on them, like what they're gonna do.
See, and
Go ahead.
actually, they're supposed to be enforcing it everywhere. There was the Walmart on Yarborough. Well, for people that know El Paso, there's a super Walmart on Yarborough. That one almost got closed down 2 weeks ago because they weren't following the quarantine orders. The lines are supposed to be outside the 6 feet apart. The capacity amounts. They said because they were privately owned that they didn't have to
Mhm.
follow it, and that got back to HQ, and they're like, "You do it, or we shut you down."
Well,
And
Yep.
see, like
obviously,
I went to the Walmart on Cielo Vista because that's the one that's closest to me. Well, it's the same distance as the one on Dyer, but I do
Mhm.
know that the one on Cielo Vista, like they got the lines, they got the markings, they got everything as far as like the 6 feet apart, and like they're actually stopping you before you can just walk in. Like there's two people outside who are monitoring you like the whole time. Like they're like they'll be like they see people come out, and then they'll be like, okay, you can go in or whatever. As far as the one on Dyer, I do know that those they don't have lines outside, but that's Walmart itself, that one doesn't get as packed as like the other ones.
I mean, the one here in by me and Julian, I know they've been really bad about not enforcing anything.
They do have the lines. I'll give them that, and they have been sanitizing the. I don't know if you've caught them when they sanitize like all the carts. There's like a
Yeah,
guy that goes around with like a jetpack almost looking thing.
I see them sanitizing the carts, and I know it's just that the times that I've gone, they haven't enforced anything.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost
Like
Matt.
like they have it where you come in one door and you come out the other, and that's pretty
Oh
much
yeah.
that's pretty much the extent of it. I mean, they have markings on the floor. No one follows them, and no one tells you to follow them. People just
Yeah.
kind of ignore them, and they
You know,
don't limit how many people come in and out of the store. It's pretty much go in, get what you need, get in line, get out, but exit through this
I
door.
haven't seen them use like a something to
like a clicker, like a
yeah.
timer, like, well, not a timer, but like a counter.
A counter.
It's definitely like a counter. So I don't know if it's because they just haven't really reached capacity yet or
It's
whatnot. But
possible.
because I remember even in Hector's post, he had to wait in line when he went
Yeah, but
early in the morning.
that was
We'll see, like
a different one.
we'll see, because like, okay, look, like though, like I said, like with Dyer, they don't have a line, but like my mom used to work at that one, right? And she has a friend who works at that one, and my mom has asked her like, hey, are there lines or whatnot? And she's like, no, they haven't put in like as far as the lines, because not many, like I said, like Julian said, like they haven't reached capacity. So because of the fact that they haven't reached capacity, they're not enforcing that whole wait outside line like they do over here at Cielo Vista. I mean, Cielo Vista, you got people from all over the city, and then you got the people coming over from Juarez also. So like, I mean, that one's fuller, which is enforcing the lines outside.
Are they still letting people in? I thought they had closed the border.
They are, but the thing is, when it comes to the border and like crossing over and stuff, the only reason you can cross over right now is because of the fact that you have a work visa. If you have a work visa, then you can come over. If you do not have a work visa, they're just like, if you're just coming over to like visit or whatever, then they're not gonna let you in.
That's not true.
Why?
Well, that's what I was heard.
That's what they're supposed to be doing. But I have a couple of friends that just went to Juarez today, as a matter of fact.
Oh shit.
And they went just to go to a doctor's appointment. And one of them went to a doctor's appointment. The other one went to go grocery shopping.
So they're just letting people in. Hey, doesn't Aaron works at the border? Tell him to like crack down on people.
I don't think he's really like a border patrol agent. I think he's just a security guard or something.
Yeah,
I forgot the exact.
He just babysits.
You have no power here.
Pretty much.
You have no power here.
So I mean, with that, are you guys for or against like the whole opening up Texas?
I'm against it.
Oh, you guys said it at the same time.
Spot on.
I'm against it.
I'm against it.
Against it.
Yeah.
Against it. I'm 50-50.
I mean, okay, personally, I think it's beyond stupid. Actually, there's no better word for it, honestly, because of the fact that Texas as a whole hasn't even peaked. El Paso in itself hasn't even peaked. I mean, we're at 800 something cases, and yes, people are getting better, but at the same time, we have not hit our peak. Like the United States as a whole hasn't even hit its peak. And I mean, my thing is, people are gonna open up their states or whatever, but I mean, give it another month and maybe 2 months max, and we're gonna have to shut down all over again. You know what I mean? And then we're gonna see a higher rise because, like I said, we haven't peaked. And in my opinion,
you know what?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dalila, finish.
Well, like I said, like in my opinion, I think it's stupid. And I mean, I hate that we're quarantined. I do. I don't like it because I miss all of you guys. I miss being able to go see Joe. I miss being able just to go out and, I mean, socialize. You know what I mean? But you have to look at the bigger picture here. Like, I mean, it's not just about me. It's not just about us. It's about everybody. You know what I mean? And the fact is that we haven't peaked. And soon enough, we last until July, give or take. And then we're going to have to shut down, and we're going to be shut down for the rest of the year, more than likely.
Go ahead, Matt.
But I think, well, two things I was reading. One of them being that, and these aren't, they're not big old newspapers or big old companies that report anything. They're just little Reddits I've been reading. One of them from a guy in El Paso. I'm not going to use his name because I don't know if there's any, prohibiting on that. But one of them, he says that it's one of those, they're going to let people learn they're going to let people learn the lesson and then go ahead, like the way you would do it with a child is what they're going to go ahead and do. They're going to let everybody get sick. Hopefully, as the guy put it, nobody dies. But that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to let people go out, do their thing, fall into trouble, and then from there, go ahead and, reinstate the way Dalila was saying, reinstate the quarantine. But I mean, I don't agree with it. I think they should be more strict. I think they should be more strict as it is, and I know I feel very bad for a lot of law enforcement that are patrolling the streets 24/7, but have them patrol it even more. Have 2 or 3 cops per neighborhood, making sure nobody leaves their home between a specific time unless it's for work. Pretty much putting the foot down on everybody's throat. You stay at home unless you have to leave for work or you have to go grocery shopping. The way it was at the beginning, when everywhere I would go, you saw a police officer.
Yeah.
And little by little, as time went by, people pushed the boundary and pushed the boundary and pushed the boundary. At first, nobody was out, and then 2 or 3 days happened. 2 or 3 days later, people were out, out in the desert partying. And I know you guys have plenty of people on Snapchat or on social media, for that matter, that you see them and they're out drinking with each other, or they're out doing, God knows what. And it's like, they don't learn. And these are the people that are making it worse for us. Leaving El Paso, California, their beaches were full. Like if it was a normal day in April, May,
We'll see. Like, I know that like when it came to the beaches over there in California, Florida, whatever, I know that they had a specific time period. The thing is that it got so full that like there was really no control. Like they had a certain time. Like let's say the beaches are closed from like 7 p.m. to like maybe 7 a.m. and then it's open from like 8 a.m. to like I don't know, maybe 6 p.m. You know what I mean? So they had like breaks or whatever. Like as far as that, the thing is that everybody wants to go to the beach because nobody wants to be home. You know what
Yeah,
I
and
mean?
that's
And people aren't taking that into consideration. And then right now, like Matt was saying, like as far as like the cops being around, I mean, I go on walks with my mom like in the evenings or like early in the morning. Cause like I mean, it is to get out of the house, but like I said, I mean, even when we pass people by, we separate ourselves to like the point where like we're not close together. We do that whole 6 feet apart thing. Sometimes we even cross the street because there's people coming this way. You know what I mean?
see, but
And
and
you see the cops. I see the cops driving around, and they slow down when they see people. You know what I mean? They slow down when they see people, but if they see, okay, well, like they're not that close together or this and that, blah blah blah, then like it's not they don't stop anybody, or at least they haven't stopped anybody from what I've seen.
and what I see it is because I go walking too. Sometimes I'll go walking with my sister. She'll come over and we'll go walking around the neighborhood because it's a quiet neighborhood. You know, I live up here in the newer part of East Lake, a little bit farther from where Julian lives, and it's quiet out here. We don't have the population hasn't gotten that big yet. So you know we can go out down up and down Paseo Leste or down East Lake and you don't run into people. But I think what they're looking for is people that are congregating in one location.
Yeah.
You know, because there's plenty of people that come out here walking. There's a lot of people, but they're not larger than groups of two. But
Yeah.
you see the people that get together at somebody's house in the backyard, and there's easily 25, 30 people in that backyard right now.
And see,
That's what they.
yeah, I understand what you're saying, and like I mean, it honestly bugs me because like I have people on Snapchat, I have people on Instagram, and you have people getting like literally just crossing over to Las Cruces just to go hang out at somebody's house or somebody. And I see it mainly with like friends that I have like on the east side. As far as like east side is concerned, I mean, some guy just moved into his new apartment and he has like 6 7 friends there plus whoever they're like messing around with, you know what I mean? So I'm just like, do you guys not see the numbers like at all? Like especially in your general like zip code, because the zip code itself, like I mean, you can see who has the highest number of cases.
Yeah, and it's out here, out in the Horizon area, the far east side, the Montana Vista area, has the highest hit because again, out here we can get all together. The only law enforcement that we have out here this far out is the sheriffs and the state troopers, and their numbers aren't as great as El Paso PD or Socorro PD, where they can have everybody right there the moment something happens. So
Yeah.
out here, in the farther it is, the least the how can I put it? The least amount there's plenty. Okay, obviously there's plenty of sheriffs, there's plenty of state troopers, but you put together the population that can gather and go out far and congregate out there, or have little get-togethers in their 2 3 acre lands. It's a lot of people can join there, and sometimes the police officers can't, or the sheriffs, the troopers can't make it out there because of their vehicles or whatever it may be. Somebody out there might have it, one person out of everybody there, and then it spreads. One person counts for 10 people that get it, that contracted, right, or that carry it as carriers.
All right, so we're
Yeah,
gonna
and
take a quick break. We'll get Julian's thoughts on what he thinks about it because he says he's 50-50. So we'll see what Julian has to say
Oh,
about
true.
Yeah.
sorry, Julian.
about the
No, it's fine. I wanted to let you guys do this, but right now we got a quick commercial break.
Welcome back to the show. We were talking about how Texas is opening up, and Julian was kind of on the fence, 50-50 about what he thinks about it.
So obviously, both Matt, Dalila bring up points, like solid points. Not even obviously it's a very taxing issue. There's no real right or wrong answer when it comes to doing it because this is such a new thing, and there's so many different things almost every day that someone just ends up having to make a choice, and we have to kind of just play by ear. I mean, obviously we've had experiences like with SARS and what was the other one, MERS or whatever, and H1N1.
Yeah.
But this virus, because of its transmissibility, it's created a whole new set of rules this time around. So obviously, the way we tried to tackle it in the beginning is by flattening the curve, so to speak, because with this whole quarantine, the 6 feet distance, wearing a mask and everything, we're trying to just lower that transmissibility as much as possible, so that way we don't overwhelm the hospitals and stuff. The whole purpose of flattening the curve is not to stop the virus. There's really no way to stop it via that way. I mean, you lower the transmissibility, but people are still going to get it. They're still going to, over time. So really, if it's more of a question of like, if not now, when? So if we don't open this week, then when are we going to open? Are we going to open a month from now, 2 months from now, a year from now, when we might have a vaccine? As it is, people are already struggling. People are already suffering with, car payments, house payments, and stimulus checks. When you really look at it, yeah, it was 1,200, which can be quite a bit for some people, but it's quite a lot less for others. I make significantly. I actually make that in one paycheck. So if I was to get fired, oh well, I mean, I'm not trying to brag. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I need that.
Brag. You're trying to
Well,
brag.
no. Obviously, I gotta
I'm
pay
sorry,
rent. I
I'm
gotta
not
pay car.
essential.
Right?
Well, see, and that's my point exactly. We need some people to start going back to work. We need to start reinvigorating the economy, not just because of the economy itself, but for people in general as well. Staying home all day, yeah, we can go out, yeah, we can do all this, but it does do something to your mental health. I know my brother the other day too had to just get out because he works from home, and he's home like all day, so it starts really affecting you. And I know last year I had one of my like darkest times because I was home all the time. My mom had to go get treatment, so I had to babysit the house. I had to watch the dogs, and I was just here 24/7, and it starts really, I don't know, it really messes with you. I was trying not to use the F word.
Oh.
It really messes with you because, yeah, I mean, we're humans. We're social animals. We like to talk to people. We like to, have some sense of control over our lives. And when people tell us that we can't do anything, then obviously,
And look at all the really unnecessary protests, the super unhealthy protests going all around the world.
Obviously, within
And
reason. I'm not trying to say like, oh, let's throw open the doors and open up the floodgates and stuff. I think if people are smart about it, if people really enforce some of the rules, obviously we're having some issues, but I think over time, as we start to really learn about this thing, we'll start to understand a better way to tackle it. Because even not only with the new hand washing and all these other techniques that we're doing is bringing down corona, but it's also bringing down the influenza virus itself. Also, it's smart to kind of start doing it now than later, because as studies have shown, certain proteins within the virus are getting affected by the heat. The virus used to be able to live, I think, about like 2 to 3 days on certain substances, but now because of the heat, it's affecting its protein, so its half-life, I think, decreases significantly. So before, when it used to be 2 to 3 days, now it's maybe hours, like 12 hours to even 24 hours, which is a significant decrease. And it's smart. Well, I think smart to start doing it now, not only because you're using the heat, but you're also using the time, because obviously once we get further and further into summer, things are going to start opening more and more and more. So it's better to start now, so that way we can kind of learn through our mistakes. You know what I mean?
Okay, but you give people an inch and they want a mile. I mean, we're just, like I said, we're seeing that right now.
Obviously.
So with this opening, I'm I'm thinking people are gonna start wanting more, and they're gonna start forgetting about these rules. Like, we have to wear masks, we have to stay 6 feet apart. I'm I'm seeing
And
people seeing this as an opportunity to start gathering, in groups and start doing group activities because they're gonna hear, oh, Texas is open. That means I can go out and do whatever I want.
Oh,
And
and to
this
that,
is what's gonna cause higher numbers in a month or two.
yeah,
Well,
and obviously, as you're ripping off the Band-Aid, you're gonna start seeing, more of an increase because people are gonna start communicating with not communicating,
congregating.
congregating with each other. So of course you're gonna see a higher infection rate. But as I was saying earlier, it's only it's like if you're not gonna want to do it now, then when? Do you want to do it 2 months from now or 3 months from now? Like when would
Get it over
Joe
with.
feel comfortable to start opening the economy?
when we have a better understanding of,
But how can we get a
how
better understanding if people
Was
aren't?
No, no,
was
and
a
You
sorry.
almost need to infect people. You almost need. I
and
know it's
and that
ugly to say, but you almost need that so that way you could gather more data.
and
Because
that's
as
what I was
people
saying
are,
right now.
Mhm.
That's
Because
what I was saying earlier.
there's
that's
actually
that's already what they're doing. I mean, in Seattle, they've already progressed a lot further on this
on the
vaccine than
graph.
on any other vaccine. I mean, this vaccine is coming full force faster than any vaccine has ever been made. But we're still a year in testing and trials. I mean, they're already testing some poor suckers with the vaccine. But now
Yeah.
you're saying you want to
And
use the entire world as a test subject?
No,
and
See,
I'm
see,
and
the thing
saying
is,
I'm
for
the
saying
that,
thing is,
not as a
oh,
vaccine test subject, but as a way to tackle the virus in general. How are we going to know exactly what
The way to tackle is it with the vaccine.
well, yes,
The,
obviously, but if that's not till another year or another 2 years, then you're really going to do this for 2 years? You really want to like shut down everything for 2 years?
I mean,
It's
I'm not saying
impossible.
it should shut down for 2 years. I'm just saying, I mean, we've only been shut down for a month,
Like a month
and
and a half almost.
like Dalila said, we haven't even peaked yet. We haven't even gotten near to how many
because yeah
cases.
because we've
We haven't even fully embraced testing. I mean,
and 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 to add to that, not everybody in the city in itself is getting tested. Like I haven't been tested. I'm more than positive you guys haven't been tested.
no.
Imagine
you
if
don't know me.
imagine if everybody in this city has been tested. Is mandatory for us to get tested. I mean, our numbers would be even higher because
But
honestly,
even
we have no idea if we're carriers or not.
now
yeah,
that
and
See,
with
that's
and
that with
exactly my point.
yeah, with
Oh,
that I can agree. I can agree on an open if testing was available for every single person in your city. If we could
yeah,
get
and
every single person tested, then that's where we can determine how we need to control.
but
But we don't have that's not available.
that's the other thing too, is that when are we going to wait? When will there be enough tests? Is it going to be several months from now? And even the tests that we have now are not 100% accurate. I believe they're somewhere around like the 95% range, which
They
still
look like they
leaves, I know,
hurt.
5%, huh?
They look like they hurt though. Like I
well,
mean,
it
they
Yeah, I
depends on
think
which one you
freaking.
do.
yeah, there's 2 or 3 that are now available, because they obviously there's the first one where they like scrape, the insides or whatever. But I know they're starting to do antibody tests to see if you already contracted the virus. And I know that's been upping the
The numbers.
infection, yeah, the infection
See,
number,
but that's
because
what I was gonna
people have
say,
already been having it and not even showing any symptoms, which
and that's what I was gonna
also,
get to.
uh-huh, go ahead.
That the reason why they're testing for antibodies is because there's already a good chance that of the, let's say here in El Paso, the almost 900 people that have been infected already, there El Paso is what, a 750,000, almost a million,
I,
because we
yeah, I
haven't touched a
think we're
million yet.
close. I think we're just under.
That okay, there's only been almost 900 confirmed cases. So
Out of
that's not even, yeah, that's not even 10% of the population
I
in
think
El
they've only
Paso.
tested. I think they've only tested like 1,500 or 1,500.
Something
Okay,
like that.
and the only reason in all honesty, Julian, I think that we should be on a shutdown for as long as it takes to go ahead and let them get that vaccine or whatever, the cure for it. And
There's
it's,
six. Oh, sorry,
go ahead.
I thought you
There's
were
six
done.
what?
There's 649,133. people
As of when? As of
as of
2017?
today, I believe. Let me see.
The consensus for this year?
2019, as of
Yeah,
2019.
yeah, we
Okay,
have
so
we're
last
in
year.
we're in the process of 2020. We
Yeah.
haven't.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure 2020 is going to drop pretty dramatically. But
Oh, that's so sad.
yeah, I mean, it's the truth, to be honest. Um,
Yeah, we've only
Mhm.
tested 1,578 patients as of
Okay.
yesterday.
Yeah.
as of yesterday. Now that's not including anybody that's already had it. Like let's just say out of us four, let's say one of us hasn't. Let's say Joe had it already and his body was able to process it, and kill it. And then he comes around us, the other three, and one of us, gets infected and
Thanks.
actually
Your
runs
birthday
through the
just killed
sickness.
me.
Oh,
His
so you
birthday?
did spend time with him?
I saw him for 10 minutes real quick. I just went to go drop off his gift and say
Damn, that
hi.
fast?
On a
Damn,
lighter
that was
note,
quick,
no,
Joe.
yeah,
Good
whatever
job.
yeah,
Way
whatever.
to
It
get
just takes
way to
it
get
just
it
takes
done.
1 second to
Shut
get
up,
infected
Julian.
with coronavirus.
Hey,
Yeah.
I respect it. I mean, when you're getting it done, it's better to. I don't know. I never saw the whole bragging of like, oh, we lasted all day. It's like
In
then
and
you
out.
guys aren't doing it right if it's
I
lasting
like
In
all
how
and
day.
out.
this changed. I like how this changed from you're gonna die to
I mean, I appreciate
Well,
it.
yeah.
To get away from the grim, I do want to thank Julian and Dalila. They safely social distanced me a nice birthday gift. Dalila showed up with a surprise Chipotle, and Julian with some Popeyes chicken.
Yep,
And,
Papayas.
completely contactless. I didn't touch anything except for maybe like the bag, the top of the bag, and I was like pinching it.
A
And I was
couple of
even wearing my
fries.
mask, I believe. I think
yeah,
I
you
was
were
wearing
wearing
my
your
mask.
mask. Yeah, when you dropped it off, you were wearing your mask.
But yeah, as far as obviously this virus is not going anywhere for the time being. Obviously, it would benefit to have more testing. It would benefit to have the highest accuracy of testing as well. But because it's so new and so it's spreading at such a fast rate, it's hard to kind of like keep up with that. And I know that some of the numbers for the mortality rate have definitely dropped. Not just this is not even just including like America. I know it's like even from other areas, but
Not Italy.
well, no, so the whole again, like I was saying, the whole purpose to flatten the curve was to not overwhelm the hospitals. So if we implement it little by little by little, I think we'll be fine because obviously it's I don't know how to articulate it, but it's like, man, I lost my train of thought.
On a
But
happier
anyway,
note, speaking of Italy, did you guys see that super cool video of the jellyfish swimming down the stream in like their now clear river that runs down
I saw the
through
fish.
the
Oh, in
yeah,
Venice.
because
yeah in
humans are the
Venice?
virus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
They're
the
saying that that's oh, go ahead.
yeah, because there's no human interaction with it, so it's clearing out. There's no trash. There's nothing being thrown into the canals anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
like they look
it's
so
kind.
What I've
clear.
been hearing,
It's kind of like the meme that goes around where the sky's so clear I can actually see the Universal logo.
Yeah.
yeah. So the like the whole thing with that is that there's always been like dolphins and jellyfish and stuff. It's just obviously like not only with pollution but also because people travel
Yeah, they take the
all
boats up
along
and down
Venice and
the.
stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, it lifts up the sediment, so it makes the water a lot murky. So since
Mhm.
nobody's like traveling, all the settlement's starting to hit the
Settle back
bottom,
down.
and now you can see clearly now that
I just thought that
sediment's
was
gone.
a neat little story, and
No,
the
yeah,
positive
it makes
what's
you
going
feel
It
on.
good.
is
It makes
you
you want
want to
everybody
know
else to
another
die.
really you
Oh
want
my
to know
God.
another really I mean, I guess it is definitely a good thing. It's just sad that it took a virus to create this, but apparently this year was the first time the first March in every year since 2002 that there wasn't a school shooting.
That is
Oh.
very true. As sad as it is, I mean, it also is like a little I guess you could call a blessing in disguise per se. I mean, it is sad that school shootings are like the norm here in the U.S. and whatnot. And I'm pretty sure in other like countries and whatnot. But
I think there was one in the UK recently, wasn't there, or something?
I don't know. The thing is that I mean, the fact is that this pandemic has made people stay home or whatever, and we haven't had a school shooting. And I mean, that says a lot. That actually says a lot, and it's kind of sad.
Keep your kids home.
It's, you know what it like? I mean, like what I've noticed is kids are actually like, okay, like in your episode last week where like your friend went and said that his daughter's doing better. I mean, kids in itself are doing better. Like my cousin is actually in high school. He's a senior in high school or whatever. And I mean, he says that he can even do a lot better. His grades have actually jumped higher. I mean, he's a smart kid to begin with, so he was getting like A's and B's. But he's saying that like, I mean, his grades have like raised since he's been home.
I think that's what this quarantine is showing, is that work can be done from home, and maybe a bunch of corporations and schooling are kind of afraid of that, you know, because more people aren't going to get out because, I mean, it really helps
They
you
make money
focus
off
a
the
lot more.
population.
Yeah, but you don't have
And
anything
then-
to distract you like in a classroom setting.
exactly.
So you're a whole lot better or more focused on your actual schoolwork.
And obviously, like even like waking up, you know, and not having to worry about, oh, I gotta get ready, I gotta wake up like an hour earlier just so I could shower and all this other stuff. You get like that little extra moment of rest, that little extra moment of waking up, and you know, maybe even getting a healthier meal here or whatever. Getting
I know, I've
more
been
like
doing that.
one-on-one focus.
Oh well,
Yeah, like
yeah.
how's it been with you, man? I mean, you're a single father, and
Oh no.
It's bad. I mean, I've still been working. Unfortunately, I work for the automotive industry in a way, so I'm considered essential. They cut my
Yeah.
hours, but I'm still, I still go in Monday through Friday. They gave me a furlough for this week though, so I'm gonna
Oh
be.
yeah, I've been
wow.
hearing that. Like I have another friend. I honestly don't know what he works for, but he's essential, and he says that they're like flip flopping weeks. Like one group will work 1 week, and he has that week off, and that week that he has off, unemployment I guess is paid or something
No,
or another, and then like they switch.
So what they're doing is they're providing, well, they should be providing a form of furlough, so you can provide it to the unemployment office when you apply. So I'm gonna do that later today for this week. But if you don't do it, then you're not getting paid at all for the weeks that you're missing. So a couple of other coworkers of mine have been furloughed already 3 times since this happened. So they're doing that where they get 1 week and then 1 week off, and 1 week and then 1 week off. So they have to take those letters of furlough to the unemployment office or upload them to the computer, send them in so that they can get paid for the amount of hours they would have normally worked for those days. Um, but being a single father, being as big into the gym as I normally am, it's been pretty devastating to be honest. Yeah, there's when it comes to work is always work. I'm always busy. It slows down. It's been slow in regards to us getting our trailers in or our trailers out because I work in distribution. So I'm pretty
Oh,
much
okay.
so we get the trailers pretty much not what you do, Julian, but what you see in the warehouse where they
Yeah.
load the trailers. That's pretty much what I do. I'm on a forklift for about 12 hours a day, just taking car parts down from a trailer and then reloading them into another trailer to go to Mexico to get put together. A lot of our parts though come from China, come from Asia.
Yeah.
So they're assembled there and they come this way. A lot of those parts are taking delays now to go ahead and get, I guess they're not literally sanitized, but they're left to sit for the whatever time they need in regards to the coronavirus of how long
Yeah.
it has.
So do they come in cardboard?
Majority of them do. They come in
Really?
cardboard or wood crates.
I think the like cardboard is about 1 or 2 days, and wood is probably about like also like 2 days because of the porousness of it, something
Yeah,
like that.
and
Yeah.
and if you think about it too, these are sitting on a trailer for about 2 weeks before they even pass through inspection or anything like that. There's a good chance a lot of the stuff is dead.
Just
Nonetheless,
banking.
Especially
yeah,
with
pretty
the heat.
much. Oh yeah, and then here in El Paso, well, like right now in our yard at work, we have easily over 500 trailers. And those 500 trailers, I'm probably gonna touch about 200 of them in a month, just
Yeah.
offloading and then reloading. So all those are more than likely fine. But nonetheless, I still wear gloves. I wear the latex gloves, and then I put on my actual work gloves. And then I've been wearing a sweater every day just to avoid it. Yeah,
It's
and
been
I
getting
and I work.
hot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I work in a
I do the same.
warehouse. Yeah, so I work in a warehouse. It's already 80, 90 degrees in there. There's no AC. It's just a warehouse. I'm wearing a sweater. I'm wearing a mask. I wear my cap or a beanie, and I have my hood on just to avoid any kind of, I'm trying to take as best care of as I can,
Yeah.
because right now I'm the only one that's providing for my daughter. My daughter's mom isn't working. She has her own thing going on, but she's not working. So I know I'm the only income my daughter has, so I can't risk getting sick and losing my job. So doing that, and then on my spare time, I normally go to the gym. The gym's closed, so I've been walking around. I'm losing, a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's easy to do it at home," but when you're so accustomed to doing something,
Yeah.
it you feel ripped from it. So I'm not gonna lie. For the first 3 weeks of this quarantine, where they closed down the gyms, I didn't do shit. I gained, yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
gained 15
Well,
pounds
you know what?
in.
yeah,
Actually, on a positive note on that, like, okay, because of the fact that normally I don't work out, I honestly, like, I am probably the laziest person you will ever meet. I mean, I fall asleep all the time. But the thing is that since I've been going on these walks with my mom, like, almost every evening, if not, I think we missed, like, maybe one day out of the week. And then um because I'm eating more at home as far as like meals are concerned, because you know how like losing weight and exercise is all part of your diet as well.
Mhm.
Okay, like I have some Naruto leggings and I'm wearing my Sailor Moon ones right now. Okay, those, they're advertised as one size fits all, right?
Yeah.
But that's technically not the case in reality. Like sometimes they'll fit a little too tight and you're just like, oh my God. When I first got them, like I was actually talking to my mom about this. When I first got them, they fit fine. They were comfortable, perfect fit, like nothing wrong with them. Well, stuff kind of happens or whatever. I gained weight and they were fitting a little
nature
too
happens.
tight. Yeah, they were fitting a little too tight. You know how like when something fits you tight and like it like scrunches in a way, or like
Yeah.
kind of folds in a way. Okay, so that's how it was, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm totally not wearing these like at all. I actually put them on. I put the Naruto ones on yesterday, and then the Sailor Moon one on today, and actually, they fit way better than when I first got them. So I know I'm losing weight. I mean, I may not fully look it, but I know I am.
No,
It's just a
and
matter of hiding in it.
I'm not saying, I have seen a lot more people that don't normally do anything out and walking and talking about their their physical progress, and which is good, but I'm talking about people that are so accustomed to doing it one specific way, not
Yeah.
somebody who's barely starting.
Yeah,
You're right
because you
now,
have a
you're
different mentality.
exactly, you're accustomed to it. It's like it's a terrible thing to relate it to, but like an alcoholic.
Yeah,
You
it's
take
like an
something away
addiction.
from an alcoholic, yeah, it's an addiction. I'm so it's an ugly thing to say, but it's exactly what it is.
Well,
I
I
like
mean,
how
it's a
all of us
healthy,
are
it's a
taking it.
healthy addiction, I guess.
Physically healthy, mentally
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah.
um, but I didn't do anything for 2 weeks. I would do push-ups one day and then sit-ups another day. But the rest of the time, if I wasn't at work, I was here at home playing on the Xbox, or sitting in my ass watching TV with my daughter. And finally on Thursday, I was like, F it. And I went and I spent about $150 on bands and whatever I could find in the store. I was gonna buy stuff online, but online's even sold out. That's another crazy thing too. Gym equipment that was dusty at the stores, it's gone,
Yeah.
all gone. And it's crazy how now that people have nothing to do, they're actually working on their physical appearance. Well, for a majority, I'm assuming, from all the lack of equipment and
Oh, babe, don't even
other
go
stuff.
there because you haven't hit the punching bag in I don't know how long.
Come on over, Joe. Wear a mask and you can hit the punching bag here.
Oh, I got a bag.
I have,
I got some equipment. Well, you've been in our room.
oh yeah, true, true, true. You're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
so I
See,
got I got some equipment. It's
all I have is a 10-pound dumbbell and a bunch of lady bands, man.
Reps, man. Just
Uh,
rep.
yeah, I've been making the muscle lady bands because they're not heavy at all. So
Go 1,000. Go freaking
I'm gonna have to do
do
a Saitama workout
one punch
or
workout.
one punch.
yeah.
Well, I'm even on Facebook. I think I owe like 1,200 squats for everybody, man.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
that
I saw
poster.
that. I saw
Yeah,
your little thing.
and I'm kind of like, ugh. I'm gonna record like
How crazy is that? Like all the different like challenges and all the different like, oh hey, I tagged you in
well,
this, and I know we're all guilty of it too, but
no, yeah, I've gotten a few of them on Instagram, but I've only done the push-up challenge. I still have to do that squat challenge, and then I have there's another one for like a marathon. You have to run 5 miles. It was a challenge that I saw maybe like the first week of the quarantine. I got tagged on, and I said I
Okay,
was
good
gonna
luck
do
on
it.
that.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet. The squat one though, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 50 one day, and then wash those clothes and then do the next 50 the other day, and make it like seem like it was all one.
You're cheating.
Not bad, not bad.
I mean, shit, your legs can only take so much, man.
Or
Okay,
just
so-
or just record the same one and then just keep
Just
resending it
put
every
it,
day.
like on a loop. On a
True.
loop.
Just use a
On a
different
loop.
filter so that way it looks
Right, and on the last squat, I'm gonna just drench myself in water to make it seem like if I'm all.
like you're sweating and
Sweaty.
just like throw the
Yeah.
water in the pits and right
There
here.
you go. No,
Now,
but
is-
it's
Oh, sorry. Go.
Oh, go ahead, Joe. Sorry,
I was just gonna move on to the subject. Is Kim Jong actually dead?
No, he,
Oh,
I
so
mean-
it was confirmed.
they say he's in a vegetable state or whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what I
Vegetated.
heard. He was a vegetative state. Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
I mean
that.
technically can be a form of death. I mean you're comatose, you're not.
Yeah, but if you
Alive
believe in your
over-
almighty dictator who is a god, you're gonna think he's gonna come back.
Yeah,
I
and
don't.
that too.
I don't think he's gonna die. I think this is all just some like story or
Conspiracy.
whatever.
So they say it was
Conspiracy,
like a
man.
heart. They say it was like a heart surgery gone wrong, right? Do you
Yeah,
think
I
maybe
watched.
it could have been like Corona or something?
So, North Korea has only had one confirmed case, and they don't know what happened to that confirmed person. Yeah, they don't know,
Don't know what happened.
what happened.
One confirmed.
But that was the only one they ever had, and that person disappeared or was considered not a threat. And South Korea had their little jump and their spike, but then they went through that process of actually tracing down the background as to whomever might have caught it, seeing who they might have interacted with, and quarantine those people. So South Korea was way on top of it.
Yeah.
And Kim Jong Un, he got it he went to South Korea for the surgery, correct?
I have
He
no
didn't
idea.
stay. He
I'm
didn't
not
stay in
sure.
North Korea. So
I'm not
if I-
100% sure where he got the surgery done, but I know that
Like all I'm keeping track is the memes. All the memes of him right now. That's all.
I
I'm
really
keeping
dig the anime ones, like where they make his sister like the main
Oh yeah,
character.
I'm not ready to
like,
be a
yeah,
dictator yet.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
just
no,
like,
they
I'm
turned it,
30 and she has like the bread in her mouth and
Yeah.
like she's running with her shoes.
Oh, no,
like,
have you
trying to
seen
put
the
'em on.
one for Rick and Morty? You know how Rick turns himself into a pickle?
Yeah.
Well, they did the
Oh,
same
yeah.
thing with him,
Yeah,
but
Kim
with
Jong
his
is
face
a
instead.
vegetable now.
Vegetable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
like
saw
Is
that.
a
the Weekend at
pickle
Bernie's
a
one
vegetable?
with him.
Just kidding.
Like,
Yes, that one was good.
Oh, with the
The
glasses.
Weekend at Bernie's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, but I mean,
We're so
there's a lot of there's a lot of talks when they you know what, this virus is crazy. It's causing a lot of issues with everybody, but there's a lot of conspiracies and a lot of things that are saying that this is the reason why they're taking such a hard turn on it. The only thing I can agree with is the reason why they're doing the hard, stay at home kind of thing is because they're trying to avoid it spreading. But it's kind of, there's a lot of things that have been happening on the news that has been sidelined because of the virus that you wouldn't have normally thought about, like that the Kim Jong Un situation, the Tom Hanks situation where apparently he's being charged as a pedophile. There's that case
What?
going against him.
Yeah, I heard something about that, but
See? You guys didn't know
also
about
heard-
that.
no.
I also
No.
heard that
It's
I also heard
Hanks.
that he got fake sick or something like that.
Yeah,
like he
a
was
lot of-
he would some people are saying that his little video that he posted where I guess he came out of quarantine with his wife was staged, that he was never really sick to begin with, and apparently
Mhm.
there's like some hidden barcode in there somewhere that show like it was pre-recorded or some kind of BS just in case he actually did get sick. But
Yeah. So
don't
one of the conspiracy theories, or I don't want to say conspiracy, but one of the theories is that they're saying a lot of these superstars, a lot of these cities that are supposedly, infected at a high rate are not real. A lot of the superstars or Hollywood stars or whatever you want to call them that are infected are actually on trial for crimes they've committed in regards to human race. There's like 7 or 8 of these superstars that are in jail currently because of sexual abuse or in cohorts with terrorists, stuff like that. And another one was the like Idris Elba. Him and his wife were both quarantined, but there was a large purchase made to Idris Elba in the amount of $750,000, or I'm sorry, $750,000 that was paid out to him that they don't know where it came from, and they're thinking it's just the the secret society that's causing all this that paid him off to say that he was infected. And
So basically, conspiracy theories. I mean, you cannot say
Yeah.
not conspiracy theories. These are all conspiracies.
I
Well, I was just
seeing
saying theories.
some dumb lady like during protests was like all for that. Like she was like, I read about the Illuminati. I know about the
Mm.
Freemasons. I know
Yes,
this is
and she was
all
in her car,
conspiracy.
right? She was like some fat lady in her car.
Yeah, she was. I forgot which. I don't know. I think it might have been in New York during their
Yeah.
protests.
See, but what would be a better way? What would be a better way for them to get a lot of stuff done when everybody's at home? They don't have anybody seeing anything. Nobody knows anything. Everything's getting done while everybody is blind to it because everybody's too scared to get sick to go out. Well,
Oh, well, see,
everybody's
now the
supposed to be.
Illuminati is gonna take over.
I just want to say I don't think that any of these guys have anything wrong with anything they say. I believe in celebrities.
I too agree.
But,
Baby Yoda also agrees.
So,
no, but yeah, I mean, you never know what's going on.
Spider-Man.
Wait, which one of these was part of the Illuminati? Oh, there he is.
I
yeah.
know Iron Man,
Iron
Black
Man.
Panther,
Reed.
I believe Charles Xavier.
Reed Richards.
I think even Captain America's in it
Yeah,
too. No,
Cap was the Illuminati,
yeah.
but
Hydra.
Elijah.
I actually remember like a old childhood story when you might have been there too. When me, Charles, it might have been you and Aaron. We might have all been there when we were. It was late at night. It was a Netflix, sleepover night, and we were watching like conspiracy theories and Illuminati stories, and we were seeing like stuff behind 9/11.
Yeah,
it just all
and
seems
they're
so
talking
legit.
about like the bending bars and all that other stuff, and it's just, I mean, people are going to try and make sense of the world in whichever way they see fit. Obviously, with America being as free as we are, no, just kidding. It
Are we
often
really?
breeds, huh? I mean,
Are we really?
exactly.
Or is the fluoride in our water making us brain controlled?
Or gay or whatever?
No, that's making the frogs gay.
Yeah.
What?
But
the fluoride in the water?
That's Alex
Jones. They're making the freaking frogs gay.
Yeah.
But shit, I already forgot what we were talking about.
Oh yeah, just it's a supposed conspiracy as to what's going on with that. There's a reason why they want everybody quarantined at home because they're running, that people are getting arrested for crimes against humanity. There's another one that they're spreading chemicals throughout the air to go ahead and have people under mind control.
Chemtrails and all that. Yeah.
At this point, we should just have the umbrella corporation just take over.
Well, we did.
I can't find it right now, but yeah.
The Navy, was it the Navy? No, the Air Force just released the UFO footage.
Yeah, it was the Navy. It was the Department of Defense. There were Navy videos from overpasses. One of them was an overpass, the other one was an actual aircraft above it, and it was traveling at almost the speed of light. The second video. I'm sorry, the speed of sound. I apologize, not the speed.
I was about to say, I don't think
I was like the speed of light.
They wouldn't have caught that on camera. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, it was traveling at the speed of sound, and we have some tech that can do it, but not for that consistency, and not without causing any damage to the craft. But no, yeah, I saw those videos, and I mean, whatever they may be, I mean, I don't believe in aliens. I don't. But
the volcano explode and.
I know. I don't know. I was gonna say it's definitely obviously this whole conversation started because Joe wanted us to watch this documentary, and definitely with a lot of those documentaries they get really clever with their word phrases. This one was all right. I mean, it was pretty informative, but it wasn't some stuff I didn't already know. But I would definitely go check it out at Netflix. What was it, Joe?
I think it's Netflix. It's Corona Explained or Coronavirus
Explained. And it's not too bad. I mean, it has Jay Jones.
It's only
30 minutes.
It's 26. Yeah, 26 some odd minutes like that. It's not even a full half hour.
Yeah, it wasn't really to put any ideas into people's heads. It was just more of a, here's what's going on. Here's what we know. Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a solid one, but definitely I was going to say, you can see how some documentaries breed a lot of conspiracies. I know my dad watches Ancient Aliens all the time. So
that's a good show.
one of the ways they kind of like get around like oh, this person knows what they're talking about. They say ancient astronaut theorist. Literally, like every other sentence is ancient astronaut theorist, and it's like, what the heck even is that? You know, like aliens. But yeah, obviously, it is what it is. I still remain 50-50 on the opening.
And if you guys are 50-50 on whether or not you want to buy the all of a sudden keychains, then let's think about the glass half full and just go ahead and buy one of those bad boys. Still available. Go ahead and hit up the All of a Sudden podcast page on Instagram at All of a Sudden Pod. If you want to pick up one of those bad boys, $5, and you can get your very own Wyatt on a donut keychain.
Yeah. So if you guys live in El Paso, I can drop them off. I can do, like contactless. I have little baggies that I could keep them in. That one delivery I could do for free. But if you don't live in El Paso, I still am working on the prices because obviously I got to figure out, I don't want to shortchange, you know what I mean? But I'll try to keep it as close to the $5 as possible. I mean, it is a very lightweight thing, so it's not like it's going to cost too much shipping and handling. But yeah,
I think Matt fell. Hey Matt, you good?
There. So yeah, again, thank you, Dalila, and thank you, Matt, for joining us this week. And you guys, if you guys have any suggestions on what you want to see for episode 50, leave them in the comments below. Like,
50.
and, subscribe.
Right. 50.
50.
Yeah, that's how I was like.
Wait, because Julian.
So yeah,
was
guys,
like
let us know. Let us know down below what you would like to hear from us. What you guys,
you want to see us do something crazy?
Yeah, for episode 50.
Thank you guys for always supporting us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Stay sunny, guys.